Hey everybody, this is Erin Lincoln. I'm here with a few quick tips to show you how to put together the seasonal stitches wreath die, in particular how the leaves are arranged on the wreath and that bow. There's just a couple little tricks that I thought would benefit from a video. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, on your die, to orient yourself, you're going to find this diamond pattern. It's right there, this little nip in the die, and that is where your bow goes. So you're going to want to find that on your felt cut and your holes only cut that you die cut into whatever project you're sewing the wreath onto. So go ahead and orient yourself. Okay, above and below, just to orient yourself, you're going to stitch in leaves. These two leaves are on the outside, on the top and bottom of that bow for the top and the bottom of that diamond for the bow. The leaves all have this flare stitch pattern where one end of the stitch is all in the same hole and it flares out to 3 opposing holes. You're going to see me do that real quick, and that's how it works for all the leaves on this wreath. So I did the top, and notice that leaf that you're adding is on the outside of the wreath, and this leaf below the diamond for the bow, is on the outside as well. And as long as you remember that little trick, you can figure out where all the leaves go on the rest of the wreath. Again, that flare pattern. Then we're going to go ahead and just tie it off on the back. There you go, and you can see the little diamond in the middle. Now your leaves alternate all the way around, opposite sides. So I'm just placing those here so you can see how that works. And you look for that 4-hole flare to help with your stitching. And I do believe there is 11 leaves, and you're going to have 1 extra left over from all the die cutting. I always lose one, so I thought that was a good idea. Okay, I've stitched all these in, and I've stitched the pattern into the main leaf, the main wreath for the leaves. I also off camera added some beads because I wanted just to see how this would look. And now we're going to focus on the bow. Okay, there is a diamond that matches the diamond on the wreath cut at the very top. And you use 2 of these holes on the outside to add a little bit of detail to your bow. These are the ribbons that hang down. I double layered the felt just to give it some sturdiness. I did it 1 layer before, and I think the double layer is much better. It doesn't pull and pucker the felt. And your little flare goes just like that. It's 2 stitches, and now you're going to go on the opposite side and do it the other side for the bow. These are just little shadow details to add a little bit of dimension to your bow, since essentially this is pretty flat. There's no puckering. We want it to look like it's puckered and draped really nice. Okay, there you go. You have done that. And now we're going to attach it to our wreath. My needle and thread are in the back of this piece, so I can go ahead and with the corresponding hole, thread it down and attach it to my main project. Now, these 4 holes, you can stitch them any way you want, as long as that's secure. I don't really think I'm doing any rhyme or reason to it right now. It's going to get covered up, so it doesn't matter. As long as you feel like it's secure, then you're set. And since my thread is behind the bow, but not behind the ornament, I tie off my thread between the 2. There you go. All right, now we're going to go to the bow portion, like the loops. We have this die right here, and this is for the loops. Now pay attention to the 3 holes on either end and sew those together, and then just tie them off. It takes like 2 seconds. Now you have a little felt calamari ring. That's what it reminds me of. Okay, snip the ends and turn this inside out. Like so. Now you're going to pay attention to these two flares that look like cat whiskers, and we're going to sew those in. And again, it is creating the illusion that this is a nice tied bow with depth and dimension when all we're doing is just felt. And it's going to look like cat whiskers when you're done. I'm going to re-thread my needle and come back and finish that last stitch. Okay, you're going to want to tie this off. And snip the ends. And now we're going to attach it to the main part of our ornament. The space between the two sides of the cat whiskers, that's where your knot would be, but your knot is really just thread. So we're going to thread it up through the back, over and then down through another hole in that diamond pattern for the bow. And we're going to pull the thread really tight, and it's going to kind of cinch that bow in the middle, giving it more of a look of a dimensional bow. The more strands of floss you use here, the thicker that's going to look. So you might want to do that. If you need to go back around and add another stitch, feel free. I'm not going to do that here. I'm just going to go ahead and tie it off and call it good. And then proceed to create the rest of my ornament. Okay, thanks for joining me. I hope this helps you put together your seasonal stitch wreath and make beautiful ornaments out of it. All right, bye-bye now.